Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Off to the races we go. It's Friday. This will be the last Friday of July. Today is the 28th. We'll get ready to roll into August. Whew. Don't forget to join me Tuesday, downtown Marion, as Political Speaking will be there. Stump. All Republican candidates will gather to, talk. We'd love to have you in the audience at Dumont Plaza beginning Tuesday afternoon at 6:30. Make a point to be there. It should be interesting, and we'll find out a week from that how a lot of these elections will turn out. It's in the final weeks of it. It's been a lot of politicking. Been a heap of it. You've seen a few of these folks at your doors. Some you haven't seen at all. Hope you have a chance to get educated in between now and August the 8th before we cast those ballots. But that'll give you another opportunity, and we still have some more polls that we'll be putting up. We'll let you cast a vote to get a feel of where the candidates are before all this goes down. Very important, and I keep stressing this. You're going to be stuck with whoever gets put in there for 4 years. Make your best educated vote that you can. So do some studying. Be comfortable about what you're doing. I don't think there's a person alive that's gone in a voting booth and you go, oof, I didn't even know these people were running for office. I didn't realize it was up, and you guess at who to vote for. We've all been there. I think everybody's guilty of it. Let's be ready for it. Already Friday morning, Odie is getting ready to come in. We've got some headlines that are shaping America that we're going to go over in a few moments. Yesterday was just hot and miserable, was it not? I've had so many people tell me that during the course of the day, they just got to sit down and rest a few minutes, that the heat just drains them. And I'm sure you're probably in that boat just like me, to where it's like, oof, give me some air conditioning. Let me sit down. All that's on the way there. We do that. Let's check in. Let's get a good word. I always like to start the day, with something great. I hope you'll be able to attend church. If you don't have one, go visit our friends, First Baptist out in Collinsville. Let's see what Brother Ben has to say this morning.
I wonder, what are some of the things that you rejoice in? Your favorite team winning that game? That precious grandbaby being born? Tagging that big trophy buck? Seeing your favorite person win on that TV show you love to watch? Or how about payday? Do you rejoice on payday? But you know what typically doesn't make our list, but should? Suffering. Yeah, suffering. If we're going to be biblical, we should rejoice in our suffering, because that's exactly what the Holy Spirit tells us through Apostle Paul in Romans 5. When he teaches by example, saying, we rejoice in our sufferings. And before you just write that off as crazy, hear why he rejoiced in his sufferings, and so should we. Here's the fullness of what he said there. Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope doesn't put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who's been given to us. Do you see now why we're to rejoice in our suffering? It's not the suffering itself we rejoice in, as if we're some masochist. No, we rejoice in what our suffering produces in us. It produces endurance and character and hope, and it's all there because of love, which all of that overshadows the suffering. So may you see your suffering through a biblical lens today and experience these good spiritual fruits, so that you might, by the grace of God, rejoice even in your suffering. And what a difference that'll make in you and around you. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie is in. We're both wearing red. I don't want to just scare you before you get there. There's a reason behind it, though, supporting the troops. As I finally learned after 40-something years, that's what that's about. All those shirts on red, and I didn't know what, on Fridays, I didn't know what was going on. Don Carney, good morning. Watching us from Indiantown, Florida. Salute to you. Terry Ray points out, and I have to agree with her, as you get this going and you're trying to keep cool, your electric bill skyrockets, doesn't it? Somebody grip a counter. 2 days ago, I bought gas, and I thought, wow, that's kind of high, $2.97. I passed by the pump yesterday, the same location, it said $3.15. What does that mean in the end? Well, it's going to take away more out of your paycheck. It'll be less that you can do for groceries. Do want to remind you, we're full into swing now. This is the tax-free weekend for back to school. If you're going to be buying back to school supplies for your kids, it's a tax-free weekend in the state of Mississippi. Take advantage of that. As we all know, every dollar counts in a household. It does. It takes all Takes it all to make things happen. As I've never heard, as we look at headlines across America, I've never heard of a YouTube challenge. It's usually referred to a TikTok challenge, and things go wrong. But making headlines today, an 11-year-old Florida girl is in jail. She's been arrested. She did a prank where she sent out a text to 911 saying that her friend was kidnapped. It was false. And you should be punished for that. I don't know what in the end they'll charge her for, but you can't do that. No prank calls to 911. And again, that's the first time I heard of a YouTube challenge. It's usually these TikTok challenges that get people into trouble. I hope this is not something that's going to just spread. If you'll remember, we talked about the Miss Italy, where they said you had to be a man to enter their beauty contest because it was a woman's beauty contest. They've had 100 men try to enter now. I guess they're called trans men, but they're trying to enter the contest. Just so you know. Some headlines, as you look at what's going on in America today, it breaks your heart and almost brings a tear to your eye, and I somehow don't even want to read it. I hate to even bring it up. An Arizona woman, and I assume it's the mother, has been sentenced to life in prison. It's a pretty strong sentence. I don't think it's strong enough in this. 6-year-old son starved to death. Telling you that bothers me to no end.
No food, and she can last
Yeah.
as long as she lasts.
That's really a tough one there. I'll leave that alone. Here's a guy I think most of us like. I do. Who doesn't like Medea? Those movies are fun. He seems to be such a nice guy. He is offering a $100,000 reward. A man was killed. He seems to really, really want to do what's good for the community. Tyler Perry putting up $100,000 for information about a man that was killed, I believe it was in Georgia last month. He does do a lot of good, and thumbs up to him. I hope they do find out who did this. Oh, that's more talking about that heat wave we've got there. Let's see what else is going on. We often know that preachers work with law enforcement. They will have kind of like a chaplain of the police department. As we go to Connecticut, this is one of those that tugs at you as well. A preacher had stopped in front of his house to get his mail out of the mailbox. A police cruiser would hit him. He lost his life at the scene. The same department that he was the clergyman for. Awful, awful, awful. Don't hear a lot out of Connecticut, and that was not a good one to hear this morning. This is no shocking surprise to us as we wake up and we find out that the headlines that, well, Russia might be helping, China is actually helping Russia. I had that backwards there with technology and things to keep that war going on in Ukraine. I'm not shocked, are you? Probably so much more that we don't know about all of that. And what was it yesterday? We talked about the rocks that were at Trader Joe's. It just keeps getting worse for these guys. They're calling back some soup, 10,000 boxes of it, because it's got some bugs in it. Trader Joe's, they're recalling 10,000 boxes of soup. If you bought broccoli cheddar from there, they're offering refunds. Man.
It's all natural.
All natural. He never stops, y'all. All this begins at 7 o'clock. I hope you won't miss out on it. We've got one of the best informative shows that you will find anywhere, bar none, beginning at 7 o'clock this morning. We tell you the truth, like it or not, the facts the way they are. And we'll do that beginning at 7. We'll check your forecast next here in just a moment as we get this day underway.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 Representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in. are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham. Welcome back as we begin a Friday. Doesn't it feel good to be alive? This is almost that moment to where the world is innocent as the sun is coming up. And none of us so far, I hope, haven't sinned as of yet. It's a fresh beginning for each one of us. Use our time wisely. We'll sin in the next 10 minutes. It does happen. We are forgiven. Thank God for that. Don't y'all agree? But it is that moment of innocence when we start each day where we can take a wrong that maybe happened yesterday and make it right. I wish you luck in your adventures today of no matter where you go and what you do. All right, let's get into the forecast now and just find out how hot it's going to be while you do all of that.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back and turn the hands of time, 1952, I was nowhere around. Nope, 102 degrees it was. Back in 59, a low of 59 was set on this morning waking up. That would be about when the next 1959 Caddy would be rolling off the assembly line. The winged monster that has become such a icon. I'll never have one of them. They cost a little bit too much nowadays. As we look at what we've got planned for today, 97 in Marion, and we'll see 96 in Philadelphia. We do have this 20% chance of eastern Lauderdale County and southern Lauderdale County into Clark and on into Jasper County. These areas with slight chances of rain. May even see it a little bit in Lawrence this afternoon. As we go northward, though, it looks like it'll be hot and hot. 97 on up through Columbus Air Force Base, through Stark, Vegas, even back over to Vicksburg looks good. Maybe some showers, Natchez, Brookhaven in those areas. As we go to Bamaland, we do see that the rain chances increase there in the afternoon, but still 96 in Demopolis there on the river, up through Tuscaloosa. Paul Bear Bryant, we'll see 96 there at the stadium, 97 in Burmaland. As we look at the heat this weekend, it's just not going to be great at all. As we'll see, it's elevated if you're in Louisville watching us there in Winston County this morning. There, Noxapater, hot, 110. And we'll see that over in the Macon area. Now, from Philadelphia on down south today, we're expecting those highs to be somewhere around 105 with the heat index. As we look to tomorrow, even worse. But I think Meridian today, is pushing, although it has this map, it's already surpassed that. Expecting 107 on the heat index side for the Meridian area, Lauderdale County. My heavens, it's going to be hot. As we glance, Alabama, the same thing, 105 expected all the way over to Gadsden, from Hamilton down to Montgomery, down to Demopolis, is those areas there. And believe it or not, as hot as it is, look at this sneaking in from Texas. More of this already in the southwest corner of Mississippi will make its way through the eastern side of the county, East Mississippi, before long. It's hot all across Louisiana. As we glance, here we are. Those triple digits are in the forecast. Do y'all see this? Today, 97, Saturday, 97, and by Sunday, we hit the triple digits, 100, Monday, 101, all the way through Thursday, about 100 degrees. Can't you fry eggs on sidewalks at this point, Odie?
Close to it.
We'll have to do an experiment. I'll stand inside the air conditioning car and roll down the window and watch Odie do that. Give you a spatula. All the way through August 11th, we still have hot temperatures, but by the 9th, we'll see a little dip. 94 down to 90 on the 10th. Don't worry, it's August. It'll get back hot again. Don't worry at all. Now, there is a 50% chance as we watch this storm roll out of Africa into the Atlantic. Will it affect the Gulf? We don't know yet. A 50% chance of this thing becoming something more. We'll watch it closely and give you daily updates. If it becomes a concern, we'll start doing multiple reports on it each day, but so far, all good. As we look at the fishing forecast, the perfect time to be out this morning, beginning at 8 o'clock till about 10 o'clock. That's kind of before it really gets hot. You'll have another chance late this afternoon after dark, 9 o'clock. calm wind becoming east, southeast around 5 this afternoon. That's a quick look at weather headlines this morning as we begin all of this. It is already 6:45. We'll start the show in roughly 10 minutes. We want you to be a part of it. Share it. Tell a friend all about what we do. Now, again, I want to remind you, we are only on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and things of that nature. We are no longer on television. We're just as strong, if not stronger, than we were. I do apologize for those who can't reach us on the television channel that don't have social media. Share it with a friend. If you've got someone that has got it but doesn't know how to use it, show them. Be a little helping hand there. We spread the truth, and we try to get it to each and every home across America, especially here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Stay with us. We've got bigger things coming as we take this to new heights. And it's all because of you. God bless you. We'll be right back with Odie beginning at 7 o'clock. Y'all get a seatbelt, strap on, get some coffee. It's going to be fun. We'll see you in just a few moments here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: